I recently had an issue with the rear wheel on my road bike. After road testing some alloy clincher wheels and putting my carbon wheels back on the bike, once I tightened the skewer, essentially what was happening was this front crank was tightening up. In fact, I couldn't even really move the crank down, and the back wheel was locked up. Yet when I loosened the skewer, I had freedom in the cranks again and also in the wheels. Now I tried to Google and YouTube this, but I couldn't find anything, so I ended up calling my bike shop, and Hampton Cycle solved the problem. Originally they thought it might have been the end caps, but it turned out to be something else. Now, because I couldn't find anything on YouTube and Google myself, I thought I would share my experiences with anyone else out there that might encounter the same problem.
Alright, so there's a good chance, Cam, that when you've actually had the wheel out, the end caps have probably come a little bit ajar, which means the free hub body can actually come across. So if you just go and put that skewer back in and sandwich it up, the free hub body doesn't actually go home to the body, and you're actually imploding the bearings a little bit, and therefore the wheel's going to jam up, and essentially it'll make the whole lot feel like it wants to lock up and freeze. So the trick is simply removing the wheel. And all we want to do is just check how the caps are sitting. So get rid of that little guy there. Having something nice and solid like a vise or a piece of timber would be better if you're going to do it at home. We just want that to sit on something. A good old soft mallet. And all we're going to do is just check that the end caps are sitting nice and home. So we're just going to give a bit of a tap, make sure that's all nice and pretty, and that's looking pretty good. And we'll just reverse. One other thing here, you've had this cassette off at some stage?
I did, yeah, I took it off.
So what we're looking at here is, see the end cap? It's actually sitting flush with the lock ring. Right. So that's what's actually happening.
There you go.
Alright, so that's either not on tight, or it's just not quite sitting on, or potentially there's a spacer behind that cassette. So I'm just going to check how tight that is first. Could be something simple like how tight this is.
That's it. I didn't do it tight enough.
Simple.
Oh, well, so we fixed two problems there.
We fixed two problems. Always doesn't hurt to just check what we did anyway.
Yep.
Because that is not a problem, but it's something that can happen quite comfortably. So now if we go back to this little guy here, if you get up close and personal, you'll see that's actually protruding out a little bit, and that's that clearance we need. So that lock ring will now no longer bottom out against the frame. So
is that a first for you, or is that am I a unique case?
We get pilot error a bit.
Right.
We'll call it pilot error. Backyard mechanic.
There you go. The original problem that I thought I had, does that happen often? What's it called? Well, what would you call that problem?
So the free hub body, yeah, if the bearings aren't seated properly, it means that when you do a skewer up, because everything's trying to sandwich in together, the bearings will implode, because there's no packing shim in between bearings anymore, and that's how they keep wheels and hubs so light. So the bearing's preloading on the inside only. It's not actually got a surface area, so the outboard of the bearing rests up against something. It's trying to get squashed inwards. So therefore it buckles under pressure and it squashes the bearing. The bearing will lock up.
Yeah, okay.
And therefore everything will want to turn, because the bearing's not spinning freely.
Yep.
But something wants to move, because you're trying to turn this guy here.
Yeah.
So the whole lot then wants to move.
Yeah, okay.
So they're the things you need to check.